how you feeling physically these days? I know you were pretty close to 1,000 tackles in your career. Those got to take a toll on your body there.
Well, I feel okay. You got aches and pains, little tendonitis, but for the most part, I'm hanging in there. What you expect after 11 years of playing in the NFL, you're not going to be, 100% healthy. But I get around and, I make it through the day.
Yeah. What are you keeping yourself busy with these days?
Well, I got my foundation. I got my golf tournament Tuesday, which I'm very excited about. I am looking forward to that, which is Glen Head Country Club. I have my own wine out of Napa, California, and own my own printing company. So between those three and 3 kids and a wife, I stay pretty busy.
Yeah, I have 2 kids and a wife, and I barely get time to make a phone call by myself. I'm sure you know what that's like. Can you tell me a little bit about your foundation?
Well, what I do is that the Victor Green Foundation mission, and my passions are, education, health and wellness, and character. So I give money to other organizations or other charities that support those same visions, that have the programs already in place. And this year, the Victor Green Foundation, we're giving monies to the Dare to Be program, which is it's a homeless program in New York City, and Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, which out of the Bronx. I'm also sponsoring 2 kids from the AJGA, underserved kids, to have the opportunity to play in different golf events. And then I have a foundation that I started in '94 called Professional Partners for Youth Development. It's a mentoring program in my hometown of Americus, Georgia. So those are the recipients that will be benefiting from my tournament on Tuesday. So very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to the great weather in New York this week. So I'm very excited.
How do you think it was that instilled not only your drive to be successful, but your desire to take care of others?
Speak up a little bit, Chris. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Who was it, do you think, that gave you that drive not only to be successful, but you seem to have a strong interest in taking care of those who need it? Who is that person who instilled that in you?
Well, my mom. I have to say my mom has been my inspiration. Growing up with 5 other siblings, and watching her day in and day out work as hard as she had to work to take care of us, man. So she's been my inspiration, and she's given me the drive, the dedication, the perseverance to really, get through day to day, and being able to understand what I had to go through. And that's why, I've taken the torch to want to give back too, because I know the parents out there that have a hard time raising and supporting a family, and my mom definitely has been the inspiration and spearheading that.
Yeah, I could bet it feels pretty amazing to know, all those lives you touch and help after football. Probably, in a way greater than what you were doing when you were playing football is to be able to actually just help those who need it. It's pretty amazing, Victor.
Well, this is football has given me a lot. But the gratification I feel or I get to see these kids and the smiles on their face, the expression when we come around, and the things we do for them, it's almost no greater feeling. It's almost like your kid's being born, and that's the inspiration I feel when I get these kids and see the smiles on their face.
Yeah, having little kids myself, I can definitely relate. Get me a little bit clamped here. Jesus. Okay, I want to switch gears to your playing time a little bit. I just got some pretty easy ones here. Is there any tight ends you played against that were like the Gronk of your era, like the guys who were just physically bigger and faster than everyone else at the position?
Just coming to mind, Shannon Sharp. He was a Hall of Fame, tight end that was, by far probably the best, Gronk type of receiver that was in our era. He was fast, he was physical, he could catch. He just was an explosive type of tight end / receiver type of a guy. So definitely Shannon Sharp, is that Gronk of that era for sure.
So what you try, I would assume what you try to do to slow down a guy like that is to make him pay every time he caught the ball.
Well, you gotta stay physical on those guys, and that's the things that I see with Gronk and him being so successful is guys let him run. You treat him like a receiver, and you got to treat him like a tight end. So you got to get up in his face. You got to be physical with him, and you got to make it hard for him to get off the ball. Now, it's not as easy as it sounds, but I think you can definitely limit his touches, by being a little bit more physical with him. He's such a dynamic player, and it's going to be a hard task for any safety, more or less than a linebacker, to try to cover him on a consistent basis. But you got to be physical with him, and you got to double team him, and when you can.
Do you think if you played during this era, it would be even harder to stop a guy like that because you can't be as physical as you were allowed to be when you played?
Yeah, no question. The rules have changed so much. The commissioners, really trying to make the job a lot safer, the game, if you will, a lot safer. But it will be tough to cover a guy. But that's, not so much though. But you got to get up in his face. You got to get him at the line of scrimmage, and that's where you're gonna limit Gronk touches. You got to be physical within that 5-yard space, and I think that's in the confine of the game. But that's what you got to do to that guy like that, and I think even now you still able to do that. So that's the best tactic I think to approach playing a guy like Gronk.
If you had a time machine, would you have asked Mo Lewis not to hit Bledsoe and let him run out of bounds? And when you saw the young Tom Brady coming on the field, were you like, oh, look at this rookie, and your eyes light up a little bit?
I like Drew, and he was a good quarterback. You never want to see guys get hurt and go out the game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that was the start of Tom's career, but the time machine thing, it is what it is,
Yeah.
But it was good for Tom. We still had a little bit of success that year, with them, and Tom came in and did a great job, took him to the Super Bowl, no pressure on him. But we could have, it was just one of those things, man. Either quarterback, either one of those guys can get you at some point. So, congrats to Tom. He's had a great career.
When you're in the locker room, who's if you guys were having a bad game or it was real tense, who was the one guy you could count to lighten the mood up?
Yeah, we had a few guys. Mo Lewis was always, he was call him a class clown, but how you always the jokester. Hugh Douglas back in the days was one of those type guys. This was loud, and Marvin Jones was like that. So it was, so we had a few characters in the locker room that always kept the mood pretty light, and especially when Parcells came, when it came with this tight grip, we kept everything pretty light in there. So we was able to, guys got along and keep the mood kind of relaxed, and kept guys going.
You miss the locker room?
you miss your camaraderie for sure. You know these guys are your family. I mean, because you during that pretty much 9 months. I mean, you round them more than you round your family. So you create a bond for sure, and so that's what most guys would say is that camaraderie that you miss in that locker room, especially when you leave the game. So I do miss that. I've been fortunate to have taken away some friendships that we keep in touch to this day, and but that's a special time. So guys are your family, and some guys kind of stray away, but the relationship that you build with those special core guys, you definitely miss that.
Any of them, any like specific guy who you've lost touch with over the years, who you kind of think about, I wonder what he's doing, or I wish he'd call me back? Do you have one of them?
No. I mean, my guys are my guys, and we always kept in touch. It's been a long time now, and we still communicate to this day. So it hasn't been any guys. I do a lot of events and appearances, so I'm always running into ex-teammates and guys that I played against. So so I stay pretty close to the game, and meet up with a lot of ex-players that I played against. So it's kind of fun, and kind of keep you in the game, if you will.
When you left the Jets at the end of your career, can you tell me a little bit about that? Was it your choice, and is there a part of you who wishes you got to play every down in a Jets uniform?
No question. I think that's that time machine question that you want to ask. Yeah. I think this is the appropriate time to ask that question. For sure. I definitely wanted to retire Jet. No question about that. And I think it was kind of out of my hands. The decision that had to happen. But if I had the time machine, definitely I think they would do things differently, and I would have made a different decision. So Jets is still my team, and always be green and white, and but things happen, and you move on, and but I don't regret decisions that I made, but if you had to do things over, you grow and learn a little bit, and you probably would have thought about it a little harder. So my advice to young guys that's out there and looking at these contracts and maybe get $1 million here, $1 million there more, grass not always green on the other side, and you really need to think long and hard, and you need to make that decision, not your agent, not your family. You need to make that decision, and again, if I had to do it all over again, probably would have did it differently.
Yeah, on the other hand, once it's over, it's over. It's not like you could have stopped playing football, then 4 or 5 years down the road, being like, I'll go out and have another season. It's what, am I right? I mean, that's a pretty hard reality, I bet.
When it's over, it's over. When it's over, it's over, man. So. So it's it's a small window, it's a small window of opportunity there, and you see guys now taking advantage of all that money being passed around, and you got to get it now. It's definitely a business, and you got to treat it that way. If anybody look at it any other way, then they're gonna be fooling themselves. They look at it as a business, talking about the team, and you have to do the same thing. So, like I said, once it's over, it's over. You have to make the best decision for you and your family, and you move on.
We got a couple other quick ones for you. I know your time's short, Victor. Okay, just a real quick story. So I'm in line at the Albany Airport in New York, and Al Roker's standing in front of me. You know who Al Roker is?
I do.
Yeah, okay, so there's me jumping up and down to my wife going, "It's Al Roker, it's Al Roker," until he turns around and he says to me, "I know I'm Al Roker." And I kind of stopped at that point. Do you ever have those moments yourself, like because you were a professional football player, you got to meet somebody who kind of, you know, a celebrity who you're like, oh my God, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody like that?
Not really, man. I've met a lot of different people, and you know, I never, you know, I don't, you know, really, you know, get too, I guess you want to call it starstruck or whatever, because you know I'm always around, you know, big guys. So you know, I just meet a lot of people, man, and I kind of put myself in the same, you know, not the same situation. You know, hey, you know, I've been professional, you're professional, just because this or that. But I don't, you know, I respect everybody, and I respect everybody what they've done and what they do. And now, you know, they see me. I hope they treat me with the same type of respect. So that's how I just handle anybody that I meet. You know, if I meet Muhammad Ali, you know, which I have, but if I meet him, you know, you want to respect that guy. Hey, you know, he's going to respect you for being a professional athlete like myself. So, you know, it's just all respect, man. I think as long as you respect each other, then it's all good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes I need my wife to put me back in my place to relax a little bit. So, I learned my lesson.
It happens, man. It happens.
So, you know, the last one I got for you, you're stuck on a desert island, and you have to live with one of your teammates that you played with at some point in your career. Who would you pick?
That's a tough one. Aaron Glenn and I was roommates for many years. And, you know, we got along really well, and, you know, we had great conversations. Because stuck on the island, you got to need somebody that you like, and that you like, you know, he's a fighter. He's, he's someone that's going, keep the mood and keep you calm, you know. So, you know, I would say Aaron Glenn, because him and I are really close to this day, and you know, him and my boy Adrian Morrell, you know, two guys that I'll go to bat for, man. So, you know, I have to pick two of those guys to, you know, to be on the island with, and just wing it and make it out of there somehow.
Thank you. Let me tell you, on my all-time Jets team, you're playing safety. You can say, you know, you wish you retired a Jet, but you're a Jet to every fan who ever watched the team. I mean, that's what you are. Did you get to go back and sign a one-day contract like that? And
I did. In 2006, I went back and I signed a one-day deal to retire the team that I love, and it's it was great, you know, going back for that one day and being able to say, hey, I retired the team that I came in for, and and it was special, and today I would always remember, and and I had to do that over again. I'll do that too and sign with them all over again.
It was like, you know, it's something like 160 Sundays that, you know, I sat there watching you play, man. So thank you for everything. Thank you for your time. I know it's an evening of your time, but it's a lifetime of memory for me. So thank you very much, Victor. I appreciate everything.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and I hope I gave you what you want, man. I just want to, you know, let the fans know to go to check out my website, VictorGreenFoundation.org, and I got some great auction items that I'm going to be putting out there. That's up there right now that I'm going to be auctioning off at the tournament, so you can win a Jets, you know, fan experience. I got two of those up there. I'll take you to the game, meet the fans on the sideline. You know, you get a free trip to Bermuda, a free trip to Fort Lauderdale. So check out the website, VictorGreenFoundation.org, and you'll see some great stuff up there.